cliches, right?
Mm-hmm.
About saving, about giving back, about, bettering yourself, continually educating yourself. These things work, right? They are tried and true. I don't care how long you go back, but it works. Happy people, right? Happy cows make happy milk, right? But no, seriously, those things work, and they're cliches because been said so many times,
Yeah.
but they stay true because they continually work over multiple generations.
Yeah. True. If they're worked. Work the program, right?
You got to work the program, right? You
program.
can't just sit back and let it happen,
Yeah.
right? You have to be out there being aggressive. I tell people, you can't get a job because the biggest question I have from young people is, I need to get a job.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to put out about 1,000 applications. You can't just put out 2 applications, sit back and wait. Because sit back and wait, you'll get nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Do the work.
You got to do the work. It's a job getting a job.
Yeah. Especially one that you'll be happy with. We've gone a fair amount of time, and I appreciate you spending the time with me. You have, and I say this in the kindest, nicest way, the most unassuming business. When you walk into that shopping center where you guys are at, you're back in the corner, like literally in the corner.
Right.
It's not a fancy center there. You've got a Sprouts, which
we're under the radar for sure.
Way under the radar. And to go into your place, you've got a lot of inventory, which, it doesn't look like one of those box stores when you walk in. Everything's polished, clean, and, all the bottles are straight. But you've got an incredible inventory. You've got very knowledgeable staff, hustle and bustle. And, I've been through the back door and I see how many employees you got back there, especially in the holiday season. You've got a major operation. And then to learn more about what you're doing online, I just want to commend you for that. You didn't get wrapped up in, we've got to have all the shiny objects out front. You're there to work and provide a service and sell a product at I think a good, fair price and do it consistently for all these years.
Yeah, I try and say, look, we're a Toys R Us for adults with the customer service of a Nordstrom's.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, Toys R Us didn't go very well, but Nordstrom's and the customer service works for us, and it is important. We, like I said about family, we treat our customers the same way.
Yeah.
When they have good news, I have all my employees read the local papers, and I want them to be up to date on what happened in the community so that we know, because a lot of our customers are local community members. If they have something good or bad, we want to make sure we're part of it to support them in any way they need beyond just the customer relationship of, hey, we're there to sell you some wine and spirits. We want to be a part of your everyday and making sure you're happy as well, because that's important for us.
Yeah, that's a great lesson right there. I never even thought about, doing that with employees. It's a great lesson. What's last question? What's next for you in Liquorama, or what's the future hold?
So I'm doing some consulting, and the organization that I'm consulting with is looking at some other industries outside of my strengths. So I've contacted a friend of mine who is a dean over at the Collins School of Hospitality, and I'm starting to study up on the hospitality industry.
Yeah.
For, as I said, expanding my skill set and kind of maybe could be the next phase. I don't know if the hotel business will be for me, but certainly exploring it and looking at that industry as an option. And while I'm doing it, there are so many similarities to servicing customers as you do at a hotel as I do in the retail business.
Yeah.
Right? And it's all about happiness.
Yeah.
Right? People go to a hotel, they want to be happy. Right?
Sure do.
And finding that and learning about that industry is going to be exciting for me as well.
So growing.
Yeah, exactly. Always growing.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Well, I'll say it for you. I know that you spend a fair amount of time with your family, and you've enjoyed your success outside of business. You have long weekends and have your vacation or your second place that you get
absolutely.
away. And I think that's a critical component of who we are and our own success within our families.
I love to be at the lake. That's my second home, and I'm grateful to have all the family that I have out there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for being on the show. If people want to buy something from your store or online, what are the websites?
Liquorama.net, Shop Wine Direct, Ship Wine Free. These are all .coms. NapaCabs.com and Fine Wine House.
Yeah, we'll have to do another show that's just centric on your business because when I learned you had NapaCabs.com, like that is genius.
So I will say that was a friend of mine that created that site, and we eventually bought it from him. But he created that, and I was an early incubator getting him into the web, so I'll take credit for that, but not for the name.
Yeah. No, that's great. Well, you have an incredible selection at your store. If you're listening and you're in the Inland Empire, it's worth the drive to get over to Upland and visit the store. You've got an incredible inventory. But if you can't, online, what do you ship to? 35 states?
We're in about 35 states right now.
35 states.
And I will make one last plug
Please.
For our hospital event, May 17th. You can go to liquorama.net to look for tickets, or you can go to pvhmc.org and look for the wine tasting event.
Yeah, I've been before. Didn't know you were involved. I went a couple years. Awesome event.
Thank you.
Beautiful venue. Like you just feel like it's a fair where they're, hot dog on a stick and rides, but they have that whole organic garden and
we have a farm there. We have the largest farm in San Bernardino County. It is an amazing organization.
Yeah, there are a lot of it. So please look into that. It's a great event. You'll have a wonderful time. I think the prices are very fair. Now, I went. They had food trucks there. Do you guys do the food trucks?
Oh, you're talking about
another event they did.
Another event. This is for the hospital event that we put on. Yeah.
Okay.
We will be serving an amazing selection of food and wine at that event on May 17th.
Okay. All right. Well, there you have it. So details at liquorama.net. Check it out. John, thanks for being on the show. And we look forward to what's next for you in the future.
My pleasure. Thanks for the time, Jim.
Thanks. Well, what a pleasure it was to have John in the studio today, listen to his story, his success, and his upbringing. And the time that I've gotten to know John in the last year or less, he really is just that person that he appears to be. And I think that that's what I appreciate the most about him. I love his philosophy on business and in life, how he raised his kids, and just learning from people like that and how I want to model my life and raise my kids. And I love his give back philosophy, teaching his kids to save some, spend some, and give some away. So can't practice that enough. It's March, and I've spent some time in the last week really recentering myself. I think a lot of it has to do with the injury that I incurred with the Spartan racing, as you've heard me talk about the last couple shows with my knee injury. And, I said to my trainer the other day, I said, this injury could almost be a blessing because I'm going to utilize it to refocus my efforts and learn how to get stronger in other disciplines. And he's got me swimming, which I haven't done for probably 5 years since I did an Olympic triathlon, which was an incredible experience just in itself. But I really do enjoy swimming. I've been a surfer my entire life, not so much the last few years because I've filled that void with something else. But getting in the pool, spending time with him, myself and my head, and putting down some laps, he's got me swimming 1,800 meters, which, I don't know, in number that didn't seem like a lot. But, man, it's a lot of laps. It's over a mile. But I've really been enjoying it, and I feel like I'm getting stronger and better. But it's made me look at myself and think about where can I reevaluate, where can I be better, and what does that mean for me in business? And I think oftentimes we just get lazy or laxed, maybe as business executives, owners, leaders, employees later on in life. We don't want to do the things that we used to do, the block and tackling that we talk about. In my world, that would be walking through the front door on a cold call and selling some wine or, whatever product we've got. and just kind of grinding it out. And I think sometimes we get too far away from that and we forget what that's like. And we forget that that's the foundation of our businesses. So I'm committed this month to recenter myself, not only physically within my Spartan training and the competitiveness that I'd like to have with that in the future as my knee heals, but also in business and reevaluating where I'm at with my wine business and how I can approach the market, thinking about the block and tackling and the foundation of those principles. And, the last, maybe 2 months, I've been promoting this book, Raise Your Game, by Alan Stein Jr. He was on my show, and I don't want to over-deliberate on something, but I'm really into this book right now, and I'm digging into each chapter just for what it is and what he's laid out. And I would highly encourage you to get the book, by the way, but I'm going to continue to throw some tidbits out there that I really appreciate about the book itself. I'm on chapter 3 right now, talking about creating habits and structure that will give you an edge in your business, talking about discipline, what it means, having, maintaining, and refining a system in place, with your everyday work life. And I love a couple of things he says, like knock out distractions, consider how you spend your time wisely and efficiently, be ruthless in trimming the fat from your day. And I realize at how much fat I have in my day that is being consumed with things that aren't important, don't make a difference in my business nor in my family life. And by trimming some of that fat, I'm not only more effective in business, but I'm enjoying my personal time almost to a point of guilt. I feel like, well, I've got this extra time here and I'm enjoying the kids and making dinner and doing different things. Shouldn't I be working? But I have to realize that I've trimmed some fat and there's an opportunity for me to enjoy a little bit more of all the things that I've worked hard for. So think about that and utilizing your unseen hours, make the most of your time and focus on what matters. So with that being said, I still get up every morning. Thank you, David Meltzer, for reminding me to be appreciative for all the things that I have. I know that I am super blessed, got a lot of great opportunities in front of me that continue to grow, as well as what you believe is what you will achieve. I am putting that into motion, by the way, with my wife. She has decided to run the Spartan National Series. The season just started. She did miss the first race, so there's still time to catch up with the remaining races for the year. But it's something I'm going to be talking about, probably bragging about in her abilities. And I know she's getting trained up hard for the first race in Alabama. She'll be flying out there in 2 weeks on her own. We're talking about a nervous flyer, but somebody that is overcoming her own fears, flying out there on her own to compete, literally doing an overnighter and come back. So we'll let you know how that goes. So thank you for listening to the show and tuning in. If you enjoy it, please share it with friends. Give us a rating. Subscribe if you have not subscribed already. All those things help keep us on air and keep this thing going. Would love to hear from you. Please reach out to me at any one of my social media handles. DM me and let me know what's going on with you. Take care.